Hello guys, welcome to Muni-Muni Labs. I'm your host Vishnu. So today I'm doing another book review and I have finally finished reading the book How to Talk to Anyone by Leil Lowndes, 92 Little Tricks. And this book took a long time to finish because I had to go through 92 little tricks. But I would definitely say it was worth your time. So definitely keep on watching to understand what this book can give you and whether you think you should read it. All right, without any further ado, let's begin with the three main things that I really liked about this book. Number one, I really loved how she presented the situations, how she presented the tactics and the strategies that this book requires, right? She put it into 92 little tricks and it didn't get lost in the prose or the words of the novel. It was something that you could concrete go back to, right? There was one with the epoxy eyes. There was one, I have it written down here. There's the flooding smile, and there's another one that was sticky eyes. These three things I really liked. And it was just in these little tricks that really helped you to remember the tactics that you have to use the next time you want to be able to talk to someone. So that's number one. I really like the structure of the book. Number two, I love the author's voice. She used her vocabulary of English. Her diction was absolutely amazing. She was very interactive. She was very interesting in the way she presented information, and that made it a really good read. Number three, I really liked the practicality of the book in terms of she was able to use examples and situations that you would use in your normal day life. And she would talk about her own personal experiences, how she was at one time a cruise director, and how she had to convince the captain pilots to interact with the passengers a little bit more and talk about her career in business and how she had to talk with her clients. So it gave you a real view into her life and how she has used these information to help better her lives. So those are the three good things about this book. The three bad things that I would definitely say doesn't detract from the book, doesn't mean you shouldn't read the book, but these are things that you should keep in mind if you're going to pick up a copy or listen to an audiobook just like I did. So number one, I don't know how applicable all the tricks are to real life. It is like I've written this down. Number one is there was one with the accentuating the positives, where she was telling you how you should always show your positive side to the world, but then if you are in a position higher than someone, you can definitely make fun of yourself, but if you're in a position lower than someone, you shouldn't make fun of yourself because that detracts from your personality. But from my personal experience, in middle school, I used to be a really talk of a joker in class, essentially. And that really affected my reputation. It affected the way people perceived me. And showing any kind of weakness in my personal experience has not led to a positive outcome. So there were certain applicable techniques that I felt that she could improve upon, or if she's going to say that technique, she should at least back it up in terms of some kind of ethos, maybe a study showing how showing a weakness could be beneficial. But for me, I wasn't able to, for example, agree with that technique. But overall, I really like the techniques. It was definitely worth a read. Number two, the audiobook version wasn't very helpful in terms of laying it out. I feel like if you choose the print version, it's going to suit you better. Because what the audiobook version did was, number one, it would tell the chapter title and then like a small introduction, and then it would go into the entire thing, and then it would repeat the same technique again. So in between, I would often get lost. Which technique am I in? Am I in number one? Am I in number two? Am I in number three? Number four? And I would get lost in the prose. So even though she was trying to break apart the novel's prose where you might get lost in it, I think she herself fell a victim to that process. And number three, I would say that the reason I would say number three is a con is I feel like this isn't a book that's going to be your holy grail that you should use to become from an introvert to an extrovert, or to become that person you want to be. in reality, I feel like this is more of a starter book in terms of, okay, I want to get into a path of self-improvement. I want to grow as a person. So this is a book I can start off with. This shouldn't be your go-to book. It's definitely a book that can be used as a starting point rather than an ending point or a conclusion to your journey. Those are just my 2 cents on this book. So definitely, I read the audiobook version through my library, through the app Libby, and it was an absolutely amazing experience. I was able to, whenever I had some downtime, I would just turn on the app and the audiobook, and I would listen to it, and I was able to get a lot of techniques. And I'm going to be including some of these techniques in my life, and I hope you also grab a copy of this book, understand what it is, and definitely go on to the same journey of self-improvement that I am on. So, see you next time. All right.